Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Transformer Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Voyager class Soundwave. And I'm really stoked to actually be opening this figure because I'm just sort of backlogged. And it's hard for me to resist just ripping this guy open because he is my favorite Transformer figure of all time. Like, I guess I can't really say figure, character. Soundwave has always been my favorite since I was a kid. And now we get the Siege version of this character. And it comes in that typical style Siege box. Got the Decepticon logo on the top. Got that cool movie poster. I'm going to keep calling it a movie poster because that's pretty much what it is. And somebody needs to make this. I want to see this in movie form. The bot's looking exactly like this. Forget all that Michael Bay garbage. This is the Transformers movie I would love to see. And we do get nice little back part showing off, bot mode, ship mode, using all the battle masters, and then tapes. Tapes are always good. And get this really cool, almost like retro style art on this side, and it is pretty awesome. I really like it. So I had to adjust the lighting a little bit so we can use some black light going on. And you can see we get some weird imagery right here. And we get an image here and some more Cybertronian language. But let me go ahead and bring it in, do a little sideways so we can actually see this. So it does have a Decepticon WFC S25. Doing this as an angle, guys, just because having to get up close, we get that symbol I was talking about. And then one thing that's really cool is we have an alternate mode right there of Soundwave. On the box hidden, it's basically like his Sentry Mode, almost like he's there to keep track of the corners of like the base and stuff and send information back and then shoot people and stuff like that. And it does say Soundwave and Transformers on the bottom. And without that, wouldn't be able to see it. So let's get them out of the package. Hidden on the bottom flap is a better picture of that Sentry Mode that Soundwave can transform into. Literally, if you don't open the bottom of this box and see this flap, you would never see this. But let's get back to the figure itself. Oh man, Soundwave looks great. And I did have some issues taking him out of the package, but first he comes with some accessories, and he wouldn't be Soundwave without a good old manual here. Looking really cool. All the steps you need right here to transform them and all that good stuff. But for all you stat buffs out there, here's his weapon stats. He came with two accessories that stand out. You have that iconic battery gun. I wish this would have been like a silver instead of just gray. Very G1. Red around it. Definitely is not the cleanest looking red. But who cares? He's a robot. He's fighting and stuff, so stuff's not going to be perfect. And it still, if it'll do it, there we go. It slides in like the original. Very cool stuff. Then he came with another weapon of some sort, all folded up and stuff, and it looks almost like a scope. This part folds out, and this definitely looks like a scope, like you'd see on like a sniper, but if you flip it this way, it could be a barrel to a gun. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just like a grenade launcher. Maybe it's a beaten stick. I don't know. But it came folded up, so once I actually start putting the dude together, we'll be able to understand what this really is. But those are the accessories. And I really couldn't be happier with how this figure looks. So as I'm geeking out about this figure, besides it looking very beautiful and amazing out of the box, it had an issue. When I popped it out of the box, I'm going to show you, his arm was actually still left in the plastic. They put the weird disc issue thing for a shoulder right on there. So it just like slides out and you actually have to try to get it wedged in there. And that was a huge disappointment. I'm like, now every time I'm moving this guy's shoulders, I'm going to have to worry about Soundwave's arm just popping out of the back because there's nothing there to block it. And I feel that was a pretty poor choice. Overall, I mean, the figure does have a lot of amazing details, which we'll get into. But besides the shoulder issue, I'm going to show you guys the biggest issue about this figure. Right there. Inside. That is the nastiest hollow bit ever. And I understand his hands are probably going to fold in there. But come on. Nothing to cover that up. That looks so disgusting on both sides. And the rest of him, it seems pretty hollow. Or not hollow, but solid. Totally opposite of what I was trying to say. But yeah, like this is all closed up. Get a little bit of hollow bits there. But those forearms are nasty. Like I could fit stuff in there. You can store a sandwich or something. I don't get it. Like why Hasbro? Why, like, of all places to go cheap? I don't understand why you did that. I don't get it. Wow, that was reflecting the light like crazy. So you guys couldn't see it. But let's get a little bit closer on this figure so I can actually get his arms fixed. So we can actually take a closer look at this figure because he is beautiful. He's got the yellow light piping. You can see for his eyes. And that head sculpt is pretty freaking cool. That is a very nice head sculpt. Got that yellow, pea yellow light piping right there. And look at that. I love these little cannons or thrusters, whatever you want to call them. I love the paint they use on that. Super clean. This other shoulder rocket painted just as bad as the gun, so it matches. I wish they would have painted the rockets inside. That would have been really cool. We get some little weird flip flaps. I don't know, lasers or something right there, but this figure makes me happy. Makes me so happy. I love Soundwave. I don't know. I just love all his tapes. It's sort of like just how his character was. I just really like him. And I love the damage on this. They did a pretty good job. It's not overly sloppy. They did damage it up a lot, but the paint looks good. The Decepticon logo looks good. The gold around it looks very nice. And of course, you know, he's not Soundwave without being able to flip it open. And the inside is pretty nifty too. I dig it. Now, some things about this figure, he has tons of sculpted in detail all over. It's just a lot of detail. The weathering looks good. You got a little extra blue there. Probably not supposed to be there, but still looks good with the damage and all that stuff. Still has his forward and play and all that. Those buttons right there. I mean, very, very G1. And I really love these knee pads or shins or whatever. Like, this is one of my favorite parts of this figure are his legs. They used a metallic pink right there. We get the metallic yellows, the silver, just all the paintwork right here. It looks amazing. It looks so good. And this line is amazing. And he doesn't have the excessive amount of damage either. Like, it seems to me a little bit to be perfect. I don't understand why we don't get any on the back, but a lot of sculpted detail there as well. He has a weird clear butt. So he definitely, he wipes very, very well to have it be that clear. More paint apps. Like, the paint apps on this guy are really good. Really good. He has some weird things that, like guns, I guess, that flip out here. Yeah, I really don't know what that thing on his arm is. But yeah, you can see his hands want to fold in and stuff. And we get a fisted hand, which is alright. Then we get one that has sort of the, you know, cassette playing. So he can try to, you know, do that type of movement if he can. I don't know if he can, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, this figure feels really nice. It's solid. The arms hollow, I'm not a fan of. That's the biggest thing that stands out. But let's go over articulation really quick. His head is on a ball joint, so he can get some attitude going on. Full rotation. He can look up and down. Arm can go up that high. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. No wrist rotation. He has bend, but that's because you're going to be tucking his hand in like so. And then he does have full rotation like so. Waist swivel. These flaps go up. Oh, okay. Awesome. Little mini flaps. These flaps go up so he can actually get a really good range of motion for kicking. Does have a nice knee joint. It's not double jointed though. Maybe it is it? Nope. That's like as far as his knees are going to go. He does have like thigh knee swivel. Why doesn't he have? That's bizarre. I don't understand why they didn't give him double jointed knees. I'm all getting all close to the camera because I'm confused. But ankles, a little bit, but we do get the pivot on them, so that's good. But let's get him transformed into one of his modes. We got Soundwave in his ship mode, and overall, it's weird. It is definitely weird. It doesn't look bad. It's just, it's weird. I don't. Got a lot of cool details on it, but like these parts, like this part right here, this thing popped off a couple times. Because it's just sort of like, I would say like Starscream's chest plate, how it's just sort of pops on. It's cool how these weapons fit in here. They have this part where it just sort of plugs right there, which is very odd to me. I guess it's just to store all his stuff on there. In the pictures and stuff like that, they want you to have these parts up. I put them down because these parts that fold out look like guns to me. They probably are. So then these sort of look like guns too, or, you know, little landing things, just however you want to do it. It was weird to transform them. It wasn't too bad. It's just, it's a ship. It's a weird futuristic ship with the giant broken window Decepticon symbol thing right here. Yeah. Yeah, where's his boombox? Bring back his boombox. I don't like, look at stuff is like floppy on him. I'm never gonna have him in ship mode. Who has, unless you're buying two of these, like who's gonna have them displayed like this? Not I. But let's see if I can figure out how to get him into that secret like spotlight Sentry mode. So we got Soundwave in his Sentry mode, and he does angle down like that to be a little bit more accurate to what it actually was. And some of you might not be aware that Soundwave was in this form. It may not have had all this detail like this, but this is a form Soundwave has been in, and it's a huge homage to the G1 cartoons. So I love the fact that Hasbro is putting these little hidden forms, and just like it's just really cool. Let's take a look at Soundwave in the G1 cartoon as a Sentry. So now you can see that this thing does exist in the Transformers world, and it's cool that we can do that. If you have two, Soundwaves, you can have them arced over and have cars zipping past them and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I will not really be displaying them like this, but it's cool to know that if I wanted to, that I can. Sure enough, we do have a Boombox Mode, and I think this was actually meant to be this way. So I was complaining about his arms sliding out of those slots, but I mean, you could see it's pretty much straight up Boombox Mode. You got this part that opens. On the back, I sort of put the batteries here versus in the center, and then I sort of open this up, give it almost like an antenna look. Now, some of you might say, man, Arthur, you might be pushing it. So take all these out, and then of course you could put the batteries, or whatever you want to call them, like right here if you want, but it is meant to be like this. So I popped his shoulders out, his arms and everything, and some of you might wonder, well, that just looks like you just hodgepodged it all together to make it into a boombox. Let's take a look here. You get a peg right there. We have a hole in the shoulder. If you don't want to peg them in, you don't have to, but it pegs in like so, and then it just folds up. So you can still have a boombox. Is it the best boombox? No, but you can still have him transformed into a boombox-esque type of figure. That's pretty cool. Now Soundwave looks very confused because his arm can't really adjust to where he could press that button. He could more press the light piping on the top of his head, and it just is weird. So another thing that he's confused about is why Hasbro would decide that this would be a thing, this nasty monstrosity of a power weapon that they call the Sonic Compression Mega Blaster. This looks stupid as can be. It is a horrible looking design, and the fact that this part barely sticks in there because the hole isn't even like cut out all the way. Like, it just doesn't want to plug in. So this is just a horrible mess. It's stupid. Here we have Soundwave and his wavemate Starscream. They look really good together. And again, just like how Starscream can get into some nice dynamic poses, we also can get Soundwave running, posed very, very well. I mean, it is awesome. He's posing on one leg, no balance issues. And seeing this thing folded up in a pistol mode, I can't really complain too much. I mean, it does look pretty nice. It looks like almost like a Magnum, like a hand cannon in a sense. But I mean, the fact that I can get him posed up on one leg just blows my mind on how nice and sturdy these Siege figures are. I mean, what other Transformers were you getting that you got this type of I can't really say articulation, but the actual like firmness of the joints? Like, a lot of times you'd have loose joints and they wouldn't hold a pose like this. I mean, it's a simple running pose, but I'm still impressed with it. I think it's cool because you could do some nice photos of your figures and things like that, or just pose them and put them on display. Like this is going to stand for a while. I don't feel that it's going to give out. The joints are very solid. So that sums up my unboxing and review of the new Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Voyager Class Soundwave. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more, as I'm always going to be pumping out content. And I want you guys to make sure you check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. New websites down below. It's awesome. Use that promo code down below to get free shipping so you can get the figures that you want delivered to your doorstep. And make sure you check out both Facebook groups, because we have the community where you interact with your fellow nerd and collector, ask questions, trade figures, just have a really good time. And then you got the pre-order group that keeps you in the know. And it's always important to be in the know with collectibles, because something's going to come out. You're going to be like, oh, I want it. Oh, it's too late. It's sold out. So you're allowed to pre-order it, get a good price, and it's delivered to your doorstep. No hunting, no wasting gas, time, money. It's convenient. So definitely check those out. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.